This is 3 crazy behaviors of a narcissist that nobody has ever discussed in public, and you must know. Have you ever experienced the puzzling moments when the narcissist in your life lightly patted you on the back during a hug, creating a sense of distance? Or perhaps they called you by someone else's name, leaving you feeling replaceable and unimportant. And what about those instances of avoiding a simple lip kiss? These behaviors, though confusing, hold significance and provide insights into the narcissist's mindset. Welcome to another episode of Narcissist Exposed. Today, we will delve into 3 peculiar behaviors commonly exhibited by narcissists and examine their underlying meanings. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel as your support aids in raising awareness about narcissistic abuse. Before we proceed, it is crucial to note that these behaviors should not be examined in isolation. People may display them without necessarily being narcissistic, so it is essential to connect the dots and view the bigger picture. The significance of the pat on the back during a hug. One notable behavior to observe is the pat on the back that occurs during a hug with a narcissist. When a narcissist embraces you and then proceeds to pat your back, it conveys a message of detachment and a desire to avoid true intimacy. They are eager to quickly conclude this superficial act and move on. The act of patting also signifies their disinterest in forming a genuine connection with you. In their perspective, embracing you is a bothersome duty, an indication of your neediness and vulnerability. In reality, this act makes them feel exposed, which is something a narcissist staunchly avoids. To explore why narcissists avoid emotional intimacy in more detail, feel free to watch my previous episode by clicking the eye icon above. While continuously patting you during a hug, they internally experience repugnance and may harbor thoughts such as, "Just wrap it up already. What more do you expect from me? I'm done pretending to care for you. Now, leave me alone." The patting on the back can also symbolize the complete control they believe they have over you. They relish the notion of owning you, and the pat becomes an indirect way of expressing, "Yes, you depend on me in this way. Carry the weight of my presence indefinitely, allowing me to be the source of your pain or happiness, dictating every emotion you experience." Visualize a wrestler who has trapped their opponent and pats their hand on the mat to signal, "You need to surrender." That is precisely what a narcissist does. Another interpretation could be infantilization. Rather than simply conveying intimacy, the pat becomes a subtle means of treating you like a child in need of reassurance or pacification. It's as if the narcissist is saying, There, that's enough now." This gesture subtly undermines your independence and maturity, reinforcing the narcissist's perceived superiority in that fleeting moment of supposed closeness. Behavior number 2. Using someone else's name. Another behavioral pattern to observe is when a narcissist calls you by someone else's name. To a narcissist, every source of supply holds the same importance at their core. Although they may interact with different individuals on the surface, internally, each person, each source is interchangeable. Differentiating between them is irrelevant. Yes, certain sources may be considered more valuable to them, but all sources of supply rest within the same category. They serve one sole purpose: to boost their ego. From a narcissist's perspective, you lack a distinct personality or individuality. They do not view you as unique or special. Painful as it may be to acknowledge, you are merely one of the many toys they delight in playing with. This blurred similarity among their sources of supply at the subconscious level leads to confusion, resulting in instances where they misidentify people or call you by someone else's name, particularly if that person is also one of their sources of supply. Additionally, a narcissist may intentionally use someone else's name to devalue or demean you, especially if that individual is someone they despise. For instance, they may call you by the name of their ex-partner, whom they label as crazy or problematic. If challenged on this behavior, they may pass it off as a simple mistake, further gaslighting you into believing it was your own fault. While the misnaming may be deliberate on the narcissist's part, it is also possible that they genuinely forget due to their extreme self-absorption. Remember, if you are not a primary source of narcissistic supply, the narcissist may not prioritize memorizing your name. Behavior number 3. Avoiding lip kisses. The third behavior to take note of, and perhaps the most painful one, is when a narcissist vehemently avoids lip kisses. Kissing, especially on the lips, surpasses the physical act and delves into the realm of emotional vulnerability and intimacy. It serves as an unspoken acknowledgement of genuine closeness and emotional connection. In the context of a narcissist, their avoidance of lip kisses stems from their inherent lack of an emotional self or depth. This is also why physical intimacy with them often feels mechanical and lifeless. Whenever you attempt to kiss them on the lips, they recoil or deliberately turn their face to avoid it. This behavior leaves you questioning your own attractiveness and self-worth. If questioned about it, they blame you, making it your fault or shaming you for pressuring them into something they do not desire. Initially, they may display passion in lip kissing, but as the relationship progresses, it gradually diminishes, leaving you even more perplexed. If you have experienced this, please do not doubt yourself. There was nothing lacking in you, and you deserved the love they failed to give. Narcissists construct multiple layers of defense to safeguard their fabricated self, shielding it from emotional intimacy. Engaging in lip kissing can potentially breach these defenses, leading to the risk of experiencing vulnerable emotions they are desperate to avoid at all costs. They would rather go to extreme lengths than confront their inner rottenness. Additionally, they deliberately withhold physical affection as a means of exerting power and administering punishment. It becomes a tool of control, dictating the terms of intimacy and ensuring it conforms to their conditions while rendering you obedient. This act of withholding leaves you in a constant state of longing, perpetually seeking more, only to be shamed and belittled for your desires. They label you as needy whenever you express the need for physical closeness, or they accuse you of being addicted or obsessed with sex, even when you receive the bare minimum. In conclusion, these behaviors exhibited by narcissists are direct reflections of their true selves and the way they perceive both themselves and you. They possess an aversion to intimacy and closeness altogether. In their eyes, every source of supply serves one purpose, gratifying their ego, much like how a child views their toys. Have you personally witnessed and experienced any of these behaviors? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, as it can help other survivors feel connected and less isolated on their path to healing from narcissistic abuse. That concludes today's episode. I hope you found it enlightening. If you did, don't hesitate to share it with your friends. I'll be back with more insightful content in the next installment. Until then, let the healing process continue, and may you find solace and growth along the way.